Tattoos are everywhere, from ancient tribal markings to that cool design you saw at the coffee shop this morning. Permanently marking our skin is something humans have, well, pretty much always done. But have you ever really stopped to think about what's actually going on under your skin when that needle starts buzzing? That's what we're diving into, this amazing mashup of art, identity, and some pretty cool biology. All right, so first up, let's get into the big question. Why do we even do this in the first place? The reasons are as layered and personal as the art itself.
I mean, think about it. It's permanent. So why on earth do we choose to do this to our bodies with ink that's going to be there forever? Well, there's no single, simple answer, because it's a form of expression that touches on everything from our personal stories to our culture to our very place in the world.
And the reasons are just all over the map. For a lot of people, it's about art, beauty, pure fashion. For others, it's much deeper. A way to wear your life story on your sleeve, literally. Tattoos can show you belong to a group, or maybe that you're rebelling against one. They can be part of a spiritual tradition, or even just a personal test of endurance. And get this, they even have a role in medicine, things like camouflaging scars or for reconstructive surgery. Oh, and yeah, sometimes it's just an impulsive decision.
And this is not some new trend, not at all. Take this for example. In ancient Southeast Asia, tattoos were like a language. They communicated who you were, your power, your tribe. The Lao Feng Dam, which literally translates to black-bellied Lao, were men who had these dense tattoos from their waist all the way down to their knees. You saw that? You knew exactly who they were and where they came from.
Okay, so we've talked about the cultural why. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty science of how. We're going to zoom in, way in, to see what makes a tattoo stick around for good. So it all comes down to one very specific layer of your skin, the dermis. See, the top layer, the one you can touch, that's the epidermis. It's constantly shedding dead cells. If the ink only went there, your tattoo would literally just flake off in a matter of weeks. To make it permanent, the artist has to get that ink deeper, into the dermis.
So here's what happens play by play. The tattoo needle punches through that top layer and deposits thousands of little ink particles down into the dermis. Your body, of course, kind of freaks out. It sounds the alarm, an immune response kicks in, and these special cells called macrophages rush to the scene. Their job is to clean up invaders, and they see this ink as a big problem. But, and this is the crazy part, the ink particles are too big for them to actually get rid of. So instead of destroying them, they just engulf them. They trap them.
And that is the whole secret. It's a total paradox, right? The very system that's designed to protect you and clear out anything foreign is the exact thing that locks your tattoo in place forever. Those macrophage cells just hold onto the ink, suspended right there in your dermis. It's like a biological standoff that turns into permanent art. And your body's relationship with that ink is an ongoing thing. Check this out, this is wild. In one case study, doctors were operating on a patient and found that their lymph nodes had turned black. The immediate fear was cancer, but it wasn't. It was tattoo ink that had slowly migrated from their tattoos over years, carried away by the immune system. It's just this mind-blowing reminder that your body is always interacting with that ink under your skin. Okay, let's zoom back out from that microscopic battleground and head back to the tattoo studio. Because knowing the science is cool, but making sure the whole process is safe, that's absolutely critical. A safe tattoo isn't just about the hour you spend in the chair. You've got to think of it in 3 key stages. It starts before the needle even comes out, with prep and hygiene. Then there's the during part, the sterile procedure. And maybe most importantly, there's the after, when it's on you to take care of it and make sure it heals properly. And listen, hygiene here is a total partnership. The artist has a huge list of responsibilities, right? Fresh, single-use needles for every single person, gloves, disinfecting every surface, and knowing all about bloodborne pathogens. But you've got a job to do too. You got to show up healthy and clean. And once it's done, do not touch that fresh tattoo with unwashed hands. Seriously, follow the aftercare instructions they give you to the letter. Safety is a two-way street. All right, for our last section, let's talk about the long haul. Tattoos are supposed to be forever, but are they? We're going to look at the long-term realities, the risks, and what happens if you decide forever wasn't what you had in mind. Look, getting a tattoo is basically a cosmetic medical procedure, and for some people, the risks are just plain higher. If you've got chronic skin conditions like psoriasis, or blood disorders like hemophilia, or a compromised immune system, getting a tattoo is generally not recommended. Same goes if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. It is so important to be upfront and honest about your medical history with your artist. And even if you're perfectly healthy, things can still go sideways. The most common issues? Infections, which usually come from poor hygiene either at the shop or during aftercare. You can also have allergic reactions to the pigments in the ink itself. And sometimes the body's healing process just goes a little haywire and creates raised scars called keloids. So what if you want it gone? What if forever is over? Well, removal is an option, but it is no walk in the park. Laser is the one you hear about most. It basically uses intense light to shatter the ink particles into tiny pieces so your immune system can finally finish the job and flush them out. But, and it's a big but, it's expensive, it hurts, and it takes a whole bunch of sessions. There are other ways, like chemical peels or even surgically cutting the tattoo out, but honestly, those have a much higher risk of just trading your tattoo for a permanent scar. So when you boil it all down, a tattoo is so much more than just a picture on your skin. It's a permanent change to your body. It's a story you decide to write. And it's a lifelong conversation between you and your own immune system. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, are you ready to hear your body's reply?